Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. Got a critique here of an exhibition routine. That's a good entrance. Great step-offs as well. Still not hitting. Still not hitting those little tiny. The needs to have more attention to detail. So let's watch here. Watch the. So, there aren't necessarily any elements and or squads or ranks. Sorry, it just kind of the team is a block and it faces every direction. So let's go back to. All right. So not bad here. This is good. We've got the drop forward, and then the right hands are coming up. And now look here. Hand is underneath the rifle. Hand is coming to the flare. Hand is coming to the flare. Here, hand coming to the flare. Hand coming to the flare, but hand underneath the rifle. There. Too early. Not really doing the work at all. Just going through a sloppy by a sloppy run through of the motions. Really, feet are almost completely together. Feet are pretty close here too, and pretty close here as well. And then left hand didn't even. It's as if there is there. So, the technique. The technique is to bring the left hand smartly to the back, to the lower back, and then bring it. The flare is out here, and then you come to bring the left hand on top of the rifle and then slide that right up. But it's not being done. So when you have this wide, not just a tiny bit, but a very wide variation of technique, the communication's lost, essentially. There's nothing really here to see except just, and I'm sorry to be so blunt, it's slop. Honestly, that's just slop. I appreciate the team pulling the rifle in. That was good. So there as well. Watch the left arms. The left arms are either here. You're going into that first toss and catching the rifle upside down. The left arm is here. But it shouldn't be. It should be placed at the side. So again, poor communication here. And it's still, and so I'll just say, front corner anyway. Since we really don't identify any of the positions. Front corner here, still watch the progression here up to the judge. There's nothing. It's just a melding of all of the rifle work coming forward. There's no articulation at all, and so there's really, and you being at the very front corner, you being the point that everything comes from, then and seeing that slop, the inattention to detail. So as you come through, look at the alignment here. Better alignment in the other two lines, we'll just say. Elbows up. That was good. Nice addition. Like that a lot, because that really works. Now, secondary movement doesn't work. See the movement here? So you two are coming over way too much. She is just fine. Excellent spacing here. This is perfect. You have to come over farther. But even though you're out of alignment, you never should have moved. You should have stayed, because that then made me go back. Seeing you sidestep over after you shouldn't have moved at all made me go back and look and find where the fault was. That just calls attention to it. Good step offs. That was really good. Okay. Almost. Okay, almost. I love the ideas of turning and mixing this up. Great spacing here. That was really good. You can tell I'm a little animated. This is really exciting to see. A little bit close on some of the spacing, just a hair. But still, I really appreciated the confusion, the mass confusion there in the scatter drill. That worked really well. So look at rifle angles here. One of these things, actually two of these things, is not like the others. 3, well, so we have a big variation of technique along here. And where's the upper sling swivel supposed to be? Now, of course, this isn't regulation drill, and we don't have to conform to exactly regulation drill, but this is, you're at port, and you're not consistent. So either it's going to be the regulation drill port or a variation of that, and that variation then needs to be applied all throughout the team. So that is a good alignment fix to march forward like that. It's also a good spacing fix as well. So the timing is getting better on this. Nicely done. Let's go back to look at the present here. So 15 count. So are you going to use the regulation techniques? Look at the rounded left here. Holy cow. That's not even close to proper technique. You let the rifle slide in the left hand. Left hand is too high here. Imagine everybody being in the same dark uniform and then having your arms sticking out. Or if you're going to wear the blouse with this, then white gloves. So you've got white gloves at a certain level, and then all of a sudden, bing, really high. And okay, sure, taller, but still, in comparison, all of these cadets right here got some tall and some shorter, not necessarily short, but shorter cadets, and there's not a huge variation here. There is some variation though. Some, and that's variation is not good. That's not going to fly. That rounded wrist there. You've got to hit each position appropriately. And then if you're going to butt slam, then it has to be boom, 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 in tempo. It has to hit a certain tempo. You just can't rely on the visual. Everything else you can rely on a visual. It starts to develop a tempo. But the butt slam that has to be that has to be a tempo. See, just like you're doing with you're doing with the calling out here, that's great, and you're able to control it with each member calling out as they're coming up to the position of port. Well, so look at the elbow here coming out, and we talked about this before. Where was it? There. Elbows here too. Big elbows. So did you see both of the elbows go out here? And you're using regulation movements here. So again, a variation is fine as long as the variation is applied across the team, and we don't have that. And even at right shoulder, the elbow it never moves into the body, and it actually shouldn't be brought out. Everybody is winging as they come out to bring the rifle up to the port position. That first, remember, port position, hands can be anywhere as long as the rifle is in the port position, and you can have the rifle in the regulation drill port. You could have it at a more exhibition port with it more straight up and down. Any variation you choose, that's fine. It just needs to be applied systematically across the team. And then, but winging there, everybody, that's not going to work, especially with the left coming out. There is no reason for the right to come out. I understand why you're bringing it out, but you can calm that down easily. But the left, winging the left out, that's just an internal thought process of looking the same. Of having a kind of a mirror image on your body. And then, I'll just call attention really quickly here. And instead of me trying to look at last in line here, look how he goes to order. So he brings the rifle over to here and then brings it down instead of reaching up here and bringing it down. And I'll say it for the 150th time. You're using a regulation technique of 15 count. Nice colonial port. Good. And so for the spacing for this really doesn't look good overlapped. I really would suggest wider spacing. And also, when you do this, hold the rifle horizontally, not angled like we have here, not angled like we have here or here. Hold it so that it's horizontal at waist level. Don't vary the rifle for any other look there. Keep it at waist level. My hands are wrong. And see, the overlap here is... Now, why did you look? Why did you look to the right? And again, you're pushing the rifle over just to bring it down. Now, if everybody else was doing that, fine. But you stick out like a sore thumb when you do that. That's... So here, instead of cupping your hand practically to receive some water, it should look like this. Everybody should look like this. The L of these two fingers should be on the knuckle of the thumb, hand flared. This is what it looks like. There. This is what it looks like from the front when you do this. Now, my hand can come much farther, so I'm going to angle or relax my elbow and fully extend my right on whatever rifle. It doesn't matter. That's my lighter rifle. It's only a couple of pounds, but this is my 1903. Weighs around 8.5 or so pounds. So still, the weight is an issue, and I understand that. And one of the exercises that you can do is to start at port, and then bring the rifle down to the flare, and then come back up, but just with your right, and then come out to the flare, then meet at the flare. Bring the rifle back up. My left is at my side, and then come down to the flare. Up, come down to the flare. If you're going to use these techniques, they need to be applied consistently. Now look where the rifle is. You're just bringing it down and not pulling it in. It's not a mistake. All right, when your rifle lands like that, well, so technically, yeah, it could be seen as a mistake. It's a lack of muscle memory, so that you're bringing the rifle down so that it comes way out to the side. But even so, when you bring the rifle down, pull it in immediately. It should be a seamless, integrated move. Nice. Great. Good. Now, as you step off, the recovery here just didn't happen after you were after the facing movements. Again, recovery here, and I mean recovery as in dress cover, interval, and distance. So recovering to the proper dress cover, interval, and distance didn't happen as quickly as it should have. Here we arms are a little all over the place there. So I actually like rock back. Even though it was just a spur of the moment thing, I like it. But look what we have here. So you need to figure out the technique. What I did was I rocked straight back, didn't move my right over to the side as he is doing here. And again, if you do something different, it sticks out like you just smashed your thumb with a hammer. And then everybody else is fine. This is just absolutely killing you, and it's always going to stick out until it heals. That's what's going on here. You're not only are you early, but your technique is almost completely different from everybody else. Now, there might be one or two others here, and obviously I can't see all of the feet, who are bringing the right around a little bit, but yours is quite extreme and early. So when I thought of rock back, I meant I meant a rock forward and then come back. But as you come back, you come straight back, not angled. So you're coming back and you turn completely around, and your then right foot is taking you in that direction. So remember, I talked about end steps. When you execute, just I'll go through this quickly. You're executing a right flank, so it's going to be right flank step march. This is, remember, the end step is the last step in the original direction. It's going to now take you into the new direction. So if we have variations of that end step, whether it's in spacing from the other foot, or if it's distance from the other foot, lateral distance, or any variation thereof. I mean, it's endless, honestly, within that circle, I guess you could say. So if everybody doesn't take the same end step, then that's why we have everybody out of alignment in all directions, honestly. And so as you turned, I wonder what the alignment looked like as you turned with the rest of the team. So this is something to think about as you apply rock back here. End steps there weren't applied. Yeah, you can see a couple big end step here, shorter end steps here, a little bit wider end or bigger end step here, with the two corners being quite similar. So that's what I mean about the application of the same technique. Where are you looking? Put your glasses on. Mom and Dad, no. Stop with the secondary, tertiary movement. Everything has to be exact. So for this, let's use an Air Force Honor Guard technique, okay? I know this is running long. This is 22 minutes, and we're only 5 minutes into a 7.5 minute performance. I understand that. But let's use an Air Force Honor Guard technique. Okay, so we're going to fix this together. So here, look what happens here. Let's go up. Sorry, went back too far. All right. Instead of having the two outside ranks elements, instead of having them stop. No, okay. So they stop. That's good. So what we have next is center leader steps over to the right, and middle center steps over to the left. Spacing is you need to take a little bit more of a step over, because then commander is all she's doing is coming straight through. So you can see that there is a variation here in spacing. So you need to get over more to your left, and especially because now look at the body turns without foot movement. Interesting. Okay, so everybody executes a center face. Now, this element here has less distance to move up. You can see the black line here, and he's pretty much, more or less on the line. And then you can see distance from the white line here is enormous, but not very much for the rest of the element. So you're forming a cordon. So here's where I want to incorporate the Air Force Honor Guard technique. They don't necessarily do this for the cordon all the time, but they've done it. So what we're going to do here is you're going to step forward, and instead of stopping, everybody is going to come to a marked time for 4 counts. You face, you step, and I appreciate the big steps. I really do. You're trying to get in line, and I get that. That's fine. So again, end here, you really need to take a bigger step over. All right, you need to give your element better access. All right, so anyway, so you're going to face into the center, take 1 step forward, begin a mark time. 4 counts. This mark time then allows everybody to align perfectly to the front. Okay, you're going to align to the front. So these 2 right here are not going to move. Everybody is going to move on them. Now, what you can do is on that first, as soon as it might look nice. So you take you center face, that's 2 counts. You then step forward 1, 2 with your left, close with your right. When you close with the right, everybody snaps their head forward. All right, so element over here on the camera's right, what you're going to do is left foot in, close, and as you close with the right, you're going to snap your heads to the left, and you're going to execute your mark time for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, while you get your alignment and possibly your spacing as well if you need to. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you snap back. Other side, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to snap your heads. You're going to execute that center face. You're going to take a left step forward, close with the right. As you close with the right, snap your head to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? I think that will fix the issue here of alignment and spacing. And again, you really need to concentrate on taking a step over. I know that it's not as easy as we might think. So let's try this again. Yeah, I understand what you're doing. So you're taking a step not only forward, but you're also having to go over. And I get that. It's difficult. So what are you doing? All right, you're stepping over. Okay, good. All right, so lead center here, our tall guy with the glasses. Even if you feel your momentum carrying you forward, don't go forward. Don't move forward. What you want to do is make a right angle, really, so that he has less stress on him. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with the left and then slide over with the right. You don't have to bring your right foot up. You just need to bring your right foot over in line with the left, close, and face. Or do you face? Do you close and face? I forget now. Oh, I see. You turn as you move, which is fine. That's fine. If you, it's a little less formal, but that's okay. You're getting into position. That when you just turn over, or when you just sidestep. Okay. Yeah, so when you just execute that sidestep, that's going to give him a better opportunity to make the move outward and not just outward and forward. He still has to come a little forward, but coming less forward and more outward is going to be beneficial. Team comes in, marks time, the 4 counts, and then never ever do that again. Never ever do that little glance and then adjust. Never. And that's what the 4 steps is going to take care of. And you can see here, his heels are over the line, heels on the line, heels in front of the line. So everybody's looking like this. Not that drastic, but it's still close. So, and Commander, you can't do that. You have to look like you know what you're doing, and that looked like you didn't know what you were doing. You stepped back. or you centered yourself or something. Team, you're doing a fine job here. This is really good. Commander, so take that rifle, place it, drop your hand, go. You can't do that. So I understand that's your version of a spin, and that's okay. So need some rifle movement here. Dr. Eaton, you know I hate sidesteps. So let's do something with the rifle that will distract my concentration off of your sidesteps here. And the sidesteps aren't that bad. It's not that big of a deal, but everybody can sidestep. Can everybody sidestep with some rifle work? Now, that's a good question. So I think integrating some rifle work in there, even the rifle work that comes from the Cascade, the repeating that might work. So I'm positive I mentioned this to you, Commander. Why are you turning your hips? It looks like you're leaning in to go, hey, guess what? I got something to tell you. And then you're yelling. And so doing this, twisting your hips, the left foot coming over, your shoulders coming over, it looks like the judge should go, oh, well, what do you want? And then you belt out the report. Okay, so you're leaning over, sit up, please sit up, or well, not sit up, but stand up. You should be completely erect with, and I can see right angles in the knees. That's good. And then here, got a left foot going over. You and Commander, you're doing well with that left foot going over at an angle. It should be forward. Here, that's a slight angle, but this is much more forward. It presents much better. Rifle work. Let's do something with the rifles for that.
Catch up, Theron.
Okay. So here instead of in order to have this side catch up better, instead of taking how many ever steps they're taking out, it should be an immediate U-turn. So are you flanking with the left or not? Because it doesn't. You might have noticed my face here. This is This is different. So watch. Left, but it was just kind of a there, right here. That was not a flank. It was just and move into the turn, and then so you're going much too far out. You could take. It looks like you're taking about 5 steps. You could take 3 and then cut this much shorter, start making your way back, and then come over, and you don't have to catch up. You're there. I think that would be much better. And then coming out here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, I'd cut that down as well. It'll be shorter distance, and you can get back and then come over and integrate the commander much better. I think that'll work. All right, so 36 minutes on a 7.5 minute performance. Lots to talk about, but there's lots of work to do. So still, the team, you're doing well. But let me just say this before I go. I'm still talking about some of the same things that I talked about when we first got together. Still the same things. So either I need to stop talking about them and you're going to do whatever you want, or totally up to you. It's neither here nor there for me. But anyway, so thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you very much.